Well, howdy, folks. Welcome back. So if you're a first fish nerd like me, or just someone who is into fish filtration, hi Trudy, you've probably heard that AquaClear, Fluval, has released a new version of the AquaClear series of power, hang on the back power filters. Which, if you haven't seen some of my other videos, I'll try to link some of those up above. I am a big fan of the AquaClears, and the only one that I have never had is the big one, the AquaClear 110. So it would make sense for me to pick up that particular version of their new one, and I wanted to unbox it and talk a little bit about that. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this thing. I have not opened it yet, obviously. Okay, so here's the heart of the filter itself. Now, one of the most obvious things that is going to be apparent when you pull it out of the box, and the 110 is actually a little different than the smaller ones, which have perforations in the lid for whatever reason, is the lid is redesigned. So that does include the 110, I believe. And it's supposed to sit on here more snugly and not vibrate. And it seems that they have accomplished that. I'm not too concerned about that, but one of the things they did was redesign the lid. Obviously on the old filters, one of the complaints is that they rattle with age. I do notice off the bat too that the plastic seems better quality than it did previously. This seems like it would be less likely to shatter or crack if you dropped it. It feels substantially improved. So that's definitely a plus. One of the things they include now with the filter is a pre-filter that will go on your uptake tube. I think that's also a no-brainer and a great idea. I've seen on other videos that they now include an extension instead of just two of these that you would plug together. And I do think that's obviously just a minor improvement, but one that's definitely a positive. Now, it won't be so apparent, but they did update the motors on the AquaClear series, so they're apparently improved. And we'll see how that goes as it's used. And I'll try to do an update on that in the future. Now, the smaller AquaClears do include a redesigned basket, which has flaps on here that keep the sponge down. The 110 does not have that change, so it would be very similar to the previous version. It does have obviously a massive sponge, which is the primary reason I wanted it to begin with because of the application it's going to be used for. But in general, this is awesome. They did change the sponge a little bit to make it a little less porous, to make it more porous, so it's finer. I'm not sure that I like that. I've heard other people say that they do like that. I'm not sure that I'm going to like that or not. We'll see how that does while it's being used, and I'll be sure to update you there. Now, the most important improvement that I've seen people mention is the uptake tube here itself. This is redesigned in such a way that the siphon is easier. It's easier to prime it, and it's more unlikely that it will lose siphon in the event of a power outage or what have you. So this is designed in such a way that water more easily flows through the tube and into the motor, and then keeps the filter primed and also makes it start easier in the event that the power goes out. So if that works like it's advertised, I would assume that that is a very good improvement. Now, I'm obviously going to get this set up on a tank and get it running and show you what that all looks like. But my initial impressions on this isn't so much that it's redesigned, so much as it is kind of a facelift on the AquaClear. Some minor tweaks to make it maybe perform a little bit better, and some minor tweaks to get rid of or lessen some of the gripes that people have had about the filter over the years, and it has been out for a very long time, but very much less of a redesign, I would say, as opposed to a facelift. Okay, so I got it on the back of the tank. One thing with that to note is, and this has been covered many times in the past, this is a very wide filter. I had to move this 75-gallon tank away from the wall a little bit, which wasn't easy. That wasn't fun, and I always hate to expect that. Now, you will need to fill the back of this tank, so I always have a little extra water made up here, so I'm just going to grab some, and we're going to fill the back of the filter. One thing I also didn't mention in the unboxing is the Biomax, the biological filtration, now comes in these little bags. There's 2 bags, and that's super helpful, I think. Just a nice touch, because more than likely you would put it in a bag anyway. They used to come with like a little cheap bag that you could put it in yourself, but this is a little bit nicer than that. So, all right, so the back's filled. Let's plug it in and see what we got. So there we go. It's definitely moving a ton of water. This tank just needed a little bit extra. Oh, my lights just got killed. Anyway, this tank just needed a little bit extra filtration to help keep the water clean. It does have a sump, and this is a little bit more than a little bit extra, so should do a good job. So thanks for checking out the video. Definitely like the redesign, AquaClear, and stay tuned. Hopefully I'll make some more videos in the coming future. Bye bye for now.